Hey, welcome back to BIBSTER'S Repair Shop. Working on Otis, the Project M today, and we are starting on, as you can see, there's part piles up everywhere. We're starting on the electrical system. Well, my electrical system, I mean the lights, because the lights don't work on this thing. So I did some digging, and if you guys remember, I'll walk by and I'll show you a little update. This already had a 12 volt conversion. So it's after 12 volt. When you run 12 volt on one of these old Farmalls, you have to change other things electrically. One of the things you should change is your light switch. Right there. That's your light switch. The back side of it. It's hard to see because I have the door open. Let me close the door. You can see it better there. That's better. So there's your light switch. It's got a resistor there, and it's got this dealy bob, this other resistor here. So what these light switches do is, the one thing is, when you have a generator system, you have what they call like the F field, and it essentially makes the field bigger so the generator works harder. And these old style light switches, when you would turn them into that mode, when you turn them on, they would activate that. So it would put more voltage out, or not voltage, but it would put more amperage out. So that way you could run your lights. Because when you weren't running the lights, you didn't need to have as much. It was kind of like a regulator, if you want to think of it that way. That might be the best way to think about it. So, but with this setup, you can't really run this on 12 volt, because all the stuff's designed for 6 volt, and you start getting that, and it can get problematic. And that alternator is internally regulated. It's a one-wire system. It doesn't need to have any kind of regulation. It doesn't need to have an ignite circuit like what that does. For this, except put a 3-wire on that. But there's a bunch of different manufacturers that make light switches that they'll have the same knob, because they have these kind of cool aluminum cast knobs. There's this, it's actually just pot metal, not aluminum, but that are just, they run on 12 volt, and they have that still dimmable switch, because this would have been for your dim. You could have dimmed the switch, and also there should have been a fuse right from here to here that this thing did not have in it. So hopefully that takes care of that, and then I'm still going to look at possibly replacing the amp meter, because I don't think it's working. The alternator is working, with the amp meter says it's not, so I might have to get an amp meter to watch that and check on that. But yeah, so I'm gonna get that ordered up. I also figured out, so that backlight was a GE, those style bulb where you can take the bulb out, and that was a GE 1133, which is a 6 volt. That's why that wasn't wired up. I got this one all the way out, and then that one is not gonna want to come out that well for the bulb that comes out. So I can just replace it. I might be able to see, hopefully, I'm gonna run to the parts store and see if they have anything similar to like this anymore, or if I have to go to like what's on my tractor, where it's that's just a sealed, the whole bulb is one unit on my M, which it doesn't really matter too much. It's not like this thing's like all original. So, but I gotta get this tape cleaned up, because you see on these Farmalls, they're really cool about, they gave you, see this pipe that's here, which also on this tractor is backwards than what it's like on mine, but you would run your wire through here, and you could run it out to your lights, and it wouldn't do this. I like how they taped it to that. So I'll bring it back with this all cut off, and now that this, oh, also look at this awesome wiring. So this is that old cloth wire. I mean, it's not cloth, it's wiring inside, but it's cloth insulated. That's gonna be a bad time. That's a power wire right there. So it's a good thing that fuse wasn't out. That fuse was out, so it wasn't working. So we'll get that run. So you run your wires up. You can actually, you just gotta run them outside a little bit. They come out of this box here, the bottom runner up on the outside right through there. Won't be too bad. Still gotta fix that. This thing being all loosey-goosey. But other than that, I'm gonna also, when I'm ordering those parts, I'm gonna order the oil pan gasket, because I'm gonna set up for this. As you can see, it's leaking it's coming out of, now that it's all cleaned up, you can see that's leaking. Basically, it's not really coming out of here, it's coming out of right in here. So either this oil pan is bad, or the gasket's bad. But either way, I gotta order a gasket. But, new fun fact, I took the Super 88 on a drive today, and it was leaking antifreeze out of the radiator. It's got a spot. The radiator's been kind of questionable, but between where the tank meets the top of the actual radiator part of it, where the fins are, it's leaking out of there a little bit. So should probably get that taken care of, so that way it doesn't, you know, cause more issues down the road. But we might get this remember my oil pan back and drain this out and drop down this tank tonight, because I think I can do it pretty easily. We'll bring it back. All right. Let's get this oil pan down. There we go. You can see in the corner there. See how nasty this looks. Please don't be water. Please don't be water. Please don't be water. Oh. I forgot to bring a rag down with me. It was a little bit like fuel, which is to be expected. There's some nasty in it. Oh, and I forgot to bring a paper towel. Oh, sorry, I kicked you over. You want to watch the show there? Hold on, let me grab a paper towel. Ugh. All right. Now, when you're doing this the right way, what you would do is you would let this drain overnight, so most of the oil would be out of there. So when you pull the pan down, it's not dripping out everywhere. But I haven't ran this tractor for a few days, so hopefully everything has worked its way down. It doesn't look chunky at all. It's just not. Looks pretty thin. So, not sure what that tells me yet, but it tells me something. You can see this big brazing here. Probably at some point this thing might have smoke hit something or cracked there. It's all brazed up. It was holding fine. It's only up here we're having problems. So, well, while that's still draining, what I'll start doing is pulling some of these bolts off, leaving a few on. So when you're working under a tractor, you either want to implement safety squints or actually safety glasses, because I don't care, you can pressure wash this thing off forever, and I clearly didn't because it's filthy. But you're gonna have all sorts of crap drop on your head. Being that the power of gravity is gonna help most of the stuff just fall down, and I'm gonna clean that pan out really well. I'm not as worried about. Normally you'd want this pretty clean to not have less chance of crap getting into. Oh, you kidding me? Of course you got it. Have to use a shorty there. Yeah, normally I would have it all clean, but I'm gonna clean this all out once it's out. It shouldn't be too bad. So hopefully I don't find any nightmares in here. Just keep telling myself it ran, make good oil pressure. It made good oil pressure. So these are on the side here. I don't know if you guys know this about Farmall. Maybe you do. You probably do. Unlike the last of all these things. So we talked about this a little bit on the other video, maybe. But oh geez, we're super zoomed in. I do not know why. Is that's better? You see there? Yeah, you're looking at one right there. So these are for checking the oil fill. So what you would do is, there's two levels here, because when you burn kerosene was notorious for, it could wash down your cylinder walls and get into your oil because it was pretty thin. So what you'd have to do every so often is you would have to open this one and drain it down, or excuse me, open this one, see if there's anything up there, and let it stop until this came out, and then you could open this one up. Because this is between these two is your fill, but you'd want to basically, when you're filling it, you want to have it full to here. And then this is your full, and then you would take, sorry, I was wrong there. This is your full, this is your drain off your kerosene. So you drain off your kerosene, then close this off, then open this one up. Once this was all burnt, or all the kerosene was gone, then you fill it and make sure it was up to this level. I'm pretty sure that's how it's done. I could be wrong. All right, I'm gonna get these bolts off. I'll bring you back. So I got all these bolts off the other side. So now I just got a last couple on here. Now there's one stud on the back, which is good. That'll help with reassembly. These should be. There's one on the front, one on the back. They're still kind of hanging on for dear life. As we take the last two bolts off here. See what that does. Might want a little persuasion coming off of there. Not sure how many years these two have been mated. Looks like definitely gonna need some persuasion. Now you don't want to get too crazy because you don't want to bend that. Just being a stamped steel. Oh wait, no, that's probably why. There's one more bolt up here. That might be doing it. But yeah, you don't want to get too crazy with how you're prying on it. Try not to, because being stamped steel, it's easy to warp. That's why they have, I talked about it before, you can actually see now, see that split there, and there's that bar that runs in there. Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah. So I'll get this last bolt out, and we'll bring it back. Well, we got the pan off. There was a little bit of schmoo down there, and I got most of it cleaned up. But what it looks like is happening in this pan, you can see actually, you know, that braze spot on the other side? That's what the other side of that looks like. Hit something good, but it looks like it's actually a previous repair. See, there's a slight crack. It's hard to see it. Right through there, you see where that crack is? It starts there. And it looks like they had previously tried to fix this. This is kind of in a tough spot there. It's right on the curve there. And it looks, down in the comments, let me know. That to me, let me get a good close zoom on that. That to me looks like, it almost looks like they tried to use like oxyacetylene weld without using fillet rod. Just by how it's not, I don't know, maybe I might be wrong, but we'll see if we can braze that up. But that's definitely why I was leaking. It was just putting it, and once it get full, oil would start getting sloshed up here, and it would just start running right out the other side. There's also developing little crack, and it might just be, can't tell until I clean it all up, but it might be something right there too. And that might be a problem because it's hard to, you can't really get that cleaned up. But I didn't really see it leaking there. This is where it was really coming out of. So we'll take this and get this all cleaned up and go from there. Everything else in the motor does look pretty good on it. Put that in my homemade parts washer there. Yeah, it's a trash can. Everything else didn't look too bad on it underneath there. So that's good. Like I said, there was quite a bit of schmoo down there. Nothing watery, just looked like old oil that had just tried to break down and kind of gotten a little nasty. Which to be expected in an older engine that's sat for a while. So hopefully that's the only thing. You can actually see where they got it so hot it discolored the pan. So and they use this just papery crap gasket. So we'll get this all cleaned up, get the engine all cleaned up. I'll do that all off camera. You guys don't need to see that. But yeah, that's where we're gonna wrap things up. Tomorrow might be sort of a nice day still, so I might start, because now this tractor now no longer can move. So I'm going to get the parts order for that tonight. Hopefully get that stuff earlier in the week. And then we're supposed to get snow tomorrow night. So I was wanting to try and get that super. If it's nice in the afternoon, I might try and pull that radiator out of that super tomorrow. And then just kind of wrap it all up. So that way I can get that cleaned up and hopefully get that done fast. But like I said, it's not too bad. It's just, I knew that radiator was probably problematic, so. But yeah, so we'll get Otis back on the back in the field soon for those handing out at home. All right, yep. So we'll wrap things up. there on the Otis, the Farmall, and we'll let you go. Like and subscribe. More videos coming out. More projects coming in. Always something happening over here at BIBSTER'S Repair Shop. Thanks for checking it out. Share the video if you could. That would be awesome. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.